One of the things that the Holy Spirit gave me was in May of '08 at the Partners Conference in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I was standing at a river looking at 180 degrees. I counted at least 5 major cities. They were cities in the United States. There had been rioting and fighting inside certain sections of the poorer sections among ethnic groups in these cities. They were literally burning the cities down. And this is before Larry and Gino went to minister full-time. He was at a church at North Cleveland as a minister of music, and God showed me in the sky a horn of plenty with their picture in it. And the Lord said, you go tell Larry and Gino not to worry about traveling. I'm going to provide for them through the whole thing. And even when this begins to happen, we're going to provide. Now, when I saw this, it was brought to my attention that in 1985, David Wilkerson wrote a book called Set Your Trumpet to Your Mouth, in which he predicted there would come in some time in the future a Russian attack against the United States that would follow an economic collapse of the economy in the United States. That was written in '85. In September 7th, 1992, Brother Wilkerson wrote, I've had a recurring vision of 1,000 fires burning at one time in New York City. I'm convinced race riots will soon explode. New York is a powder keg. Federal and state, now listen to what he predicted in '92. Federal and state welfare cutbacks will be the spark that ignites the fuse. There'll be 100,000 angry men on the streets enraged because they've been cut off from government benefits. Now listen. In March of 2009, in fact, I was in Baton Rouge with Phil Garcia at Carolyn Phil's house, Scardina. And Wilkerson said, an earth-shattering calamity is about to happen. It's going to be frightening. We're all going to tremble, even the godliest among us. Major cities across America will experience riots and blazing fires like we saw in Watts, Los Angeles years ago. There'll be riots and fires in cities worldwide, and there'll be looting. Now, a friend of mine who knew Brother Wilkerson said he's never said it publicly, but privately, he told his friend it was an angelic visitation that warned him this was coming. Now, the point I want to make is, I saw the cities burning, and I'm not happy to even say this. And when Brother Wilkerson saw this long before anyone else did, and as if there's been other people confirm it, California, parts of New York, and they got a governor in New Jersey that finally put his foot down. That's got the mess straightened up there, that was there. But there's 5 major cities right now that are on the verge of complete bankruptcy. And if they start cutting money out of the unions, which is the police force, and they've already done it in some places, and if there is any kind of a cutback in benefits that goes to some of the people in some of these areas, I promise you, you will see fighting and burning of cities in the United States like we've never seen it before. Now, someone says, boy, that sounds like bad news. Why in the world would you want to say that? Because I'm going to tell you something. The Holy Spirit wants His people not to be in darkness toward anything that's going to happen. And it's not that we say it out of fear. We say it so we can start praying. We say it so we'll say, no, Father, there's something coming. We ask you to preserve Huntington. God, preserve Chattanooga, Tennessee. The city you live in, you pray for God to preserve it or to help it. That's why you tell these things like this.